TriFold Flagship disillusionment. I'm asking on behalf of a friend. So, what would you do in this situation? Of course, that person isn't me. Don't get me wrong. I'm just helping my friend ask. Yes, helping a friend. That's all. So this Huawei Mate X3, the TriFold one, I've been using it for quite a few days now. You can see the screen time for the past 7 days, even though I already got the phone back on the 20th. The usage you see here is just from the past 7 days. But honestly, the thing that's been bothering me the most is the crease in the screen. It's actually pretty visible. Like if I open a white screen now and hold it straight, you can clearly see the crease. Especially with light reflecting on it, there's glare right here, and you can see 2 distinct fold lines. It's folded here. And especially when there's backlighting, it's a nightmare. An absolute nightmare when light hits it directly. The crease is just insanely obvious. Sometimes at work, I'd be using the phone with the window behind me, and while I'm staring at the screen, I just can't ignore those 2 fold lines. That said, overall the phone is actually pretty good. The smoothness and performance are excellent, and the show-off factor, top tier. TriFold, no matter how you fold it, you're making a statement. The Huawei Mate X3. You unfold that thing and suddenly feel like a VIP. But honestly, I only had the Mate X3 for 2 days, and it already blew itself out from the inside. This device has 3 folding directions, and the folds got mixed up. Then someone still forced it to bend, which completely ruined the screen. Not gonna lie, this thing really isn't suitable for daily use. Now, if it breaks, how much will it cost to repair? Let me guess. A few thousand yuan, $400 to 700 USDs. If I'd known earlier, I would have just bought a regular foldable. At least those don't break no matter how you fold them. This is ridiculous. Totally embarrassing. So much money, and I don't even know how to use it properly. Anyway, I went all in on Huawei's 3-screen combo. Spent tens of thousands of yuan, 2,000, 4,000 USDs on this damn thing. One screen I couldn't handle, and now they give me 3. When I open it up, it's bigger than my head. You might as well carry a monitor around when you go out. Honestly, I could just carry my desktop. If you want me to pay for this, no thanks. If it involves money, I'm out. Too big, not convenient at all. Humph. Before we dive into all of this, let us know in the comments where you're watching this video from. Connecting with viewers from around the world is a huge source of inspiration for us. Why would I be willing to spend over 40,000 yuan, squishers to 5,500 USDs, on Huawei's TriFold phone? Because these 3 features are just way too cool. First, thanks to our dear master Zuofeng Yi, we've learned a brilliant trick. When eating instant noodles, you can use this phone to cover 2 bowls at once. Normal phones? They can only cover 1. Second, if you run into someone you don't want to say hi to, just pretend you didn't see them. Can't see you, can't see you. Plus, you can use it to block sunlight on a hot day, or shield yourself from the rain when it's pouring. It's multifunctional. Third, when you're using the toilet and there's nowhere to place your phone, it might fall on the floor. But with the extraordinary master in your hand, just fold it up and place it neatly. You can even stack your tissue box right on it. A round of applause for Huawei and every tiny detail they've thought through. In my personal opinion, TriFold phones are a theft from history, not a technological advancement. I know saying this will definitely get me scolded. And some people will say, well, it's not made for regular people like you anyway. You can't afford it. Fine, I admit I can't afford it. But I absolutely don't deny the progress of technology. Screen materials have become advanced enough to fold, and when combined with increasingly mature hinge technology, phones can now be used like tablets. All of this, sure, helps boost consumer spending and makes for great marketing buzz. But seriously, is this really something you need? Do you actually need a tablet just to make phone calls? Do you need to turn your computer into a touch screen? Turning something simple into something this complicated, it's missing the point entirely. All these years, I've kept using Apple devices because of their extreme simplicity. Back in the day, flip phones were phased out, and not without reason. Anyway, I'm a lazy person. I don't like wearing watches. I don't like wearing shoes with shoelaces. These days, even turning off the light before bed feels like too much trouble. And those voice control features that go around in circles? Honestly, these designs and functions are anti-human. Luxury will never become mainstream. Simplicity is the true way forward. Just look at the websites of Western official media. They're basically straightforward, minimal, and easy to navigate, clean and flat layouts that help you quickly find the information you need. Not like those gaudy, flashy sites with tons of pop-up ads. That's straight out of the 1980s township enterprise style. The more high-end something is, the simpler it should be. Returning to basics over and over, that's what truly serves humanity. If you're still watching, comment 1 so I know you're still with me.
2000元的红米处理器都能够干翻华为售价2万元的三折屏，那看来华为粉是
A 2,000 yuan, 275 Redmi processor can completely outperform Huawei's 20,000 yuan, 2750 TriFold phone. So clearly, Huawei fans really do love Huawei. Anyone who follows me probably already knows I've never had much of a favorable opinion about Huawei products. I often make videos to mock some of Huawei's over-the-top, flashy but empty performances in the name of success. Naturally, that's earned me a lot of backlash from hardcore Huawei fans. One time I released a video comparing Huawei and Apple phones, and tons of people messaged me saying, "Stop acting like other processors are automatically better. Huawei's system is already super smooth, and the processor is more than enough." So I decided to dig a little deeper and check out the processor used in Huawei's TriFold device. To my surprise, it's equipped with the Kirin 9010, a 7nm chip. And the single-core and multi-core benchmark scores for this processor are actually worse than the Snapdragon 8 Gen 2 chip that came out 2 years ago. In fact, that same Snapdragon 8 Gen 2 processor is currently being used in the Redmi K70, which retails for 2,000 yuan, $275. Now that's where things get interesting. You're holding a so-called high-end flagship phone priced at 20,000 yuan, 2,750 USDs, but its processor can't even compete with one in a phone that costs a tenth of the price. It's honestly laughable. From the very beginning, I've never been able to understand. How can a phone running on a 2-year-old chip be sold for 20,000 yuan? But then again, to be fair, the people buying Huawei's TriFold phones probably don't really care about performance. After all, have you ever seen a successful executive or big shot leader obsessing over playing mobile games? Most of these people just watch some videos, type a few things, maybe edit some documents, or check a PowerPoint. Whether the processor is top tier or not, that's not what they're focused on. What they do care about is whether this phone can give them a sense of status and superiority.
关于折叠手机啊，今天我们再做一期节目。
Today, I'm doing another episode about foldable phones. Yesterday, I was holding a Samsung Foldable and said it was completely impractical, right? Most people who use foldables just do it to show off. A lot of people probably didn't understand that or didn't agree. Some commented things like, "But you can view tender documents, spreadsheets, even reconcile accounts." Honestly, just from reading that, I can tell you've never actually used a foldable phone. And I totally get it. I used to be brainwashed by that kind of marketing talk too. It's only after you buy it that you realize the truth. Let's not even get into battery life. Just that crease running down the middle of the screen is enough to make you lose all interest in looking at spreadsheets, watching movies, or reading any tender documents. It seriously affects the user experience. In real life, the outer screen of a foldable phone already meets almost all daily needs. So when Zheng Ge said recently that the inner screen is rarely used, I completely agree. He even tossed the phone box into the trash right after unboxing, and honestly, I think that's totally normal behavior. A phone is a consumer product. It's no different from buying a pair of shoes or clothes. I mean, when you buy shoes, do you worship the shoe box? Where else are you supposed to throw it if not the trash? Only those who've actually used a foldable phone know how gimmicky it really is. Anyone who's used one for more than 6 months and still insists on using it as their main phone, let me tell you, they're just trying to show off. And come on, look at how people make phone calls with it. If that's not peak clown behavior, I don't know what is. Is that supposed to be fashionable now? I seriously can't understand the world anymore. Is it me who's lost it, or is it you? Let's look at the comment section and see who's really the problem. Also, look at the disgusting insults in my inbox. No wonder there was a recent survey that said unemployed or underemployed groups tend to believe that China leads the world in tech. To put it plainly, the people who believe in leap ahead superiority the most are usually those at the bottom of society. Don't get all defensive. I'm just like you. I'm also part of the bottom rung. But maybe, just maybe, I'm a little more clear-headed than some of you. All feelings of superiority come from ignorance. Arrogance comes from illusion. If you stand inside China looking at the world, you're just a frog in a well. Only when you stand in the world and look at China can you have a real-world view. One day you'll understand. The people who truly push society forward are not the ones who blindly praise it, and definitely not those preaching fake positivity. It's the brave critics who move us forward. Don't forget, just because someone is different from you doesn't mean they don't love this country. There are people who express patriotism in a different way. Critics are the ones who help correct the course of society. When the direction is wrong, mistakes must be pointed out, otherwise we'll just sink deeper and deeper. Fairness and justice in society are achieved through constant correction. The light these people fight for will eventually shine on you too. So instead of calling them negative energy, you should be thanking them. The Huawei X3 TriFold. No matter how you fold it, it still makes you look classy. Before, I didn't even know how it was supposed to be folded. And now, well, I finally broke it. So here's how it's actually done. You fold it a little on this side first, then fold it over this way, like this. Aha, this is the Huawei X3. It's an ETB model with a large memory configuration. This brother here bought it in Shanghai on October 4th, and turns out, yeah, the device is kind of impractical. If you open it up to use it, people say you're just showing off. But if you don't open it, then what's the point? Plus, it actually feels kind of heavy. That said, people who like this phone really like it. People who don't know how to use it, well, they probably won't be fans. So after not using it for very long, he realized it really wasn't the right fit. That's why he sold it to me. Right now, for a brand new ETB model, the official wholesale price is 29,000 yuan, $4,000. This unit here, we're just looking for the right buyer. Let's see if anyone in Taizhou is enough of a baller to take this thing home and give it a spin. Video 7. All those beautiful user experiences I had, gone in an instant the moment I put on the official Huawei phone case that came with the device. Objectively speaking, once I put the case on, whether it was the weight, the thickness, or the feel of that integrated kickstand, everything just felt off. Especially the side protective bar. Yes, it does offer some screen protection, but it also massively increases the phone's width. That completely eliminates the one key advantage of foldable phones, which is the slimmer body when folded. At that point, it just felt like I was holding a phone as wide as a tablet, but thicker and heavier. Then there's the integrated kickstand. It sits right in the center of your palm and completely changes the way you grip the phone. I'm not afraid to say it, I had just switched to this TriFold model, but a couple of days later, I picked up my old X5 and thought, wow, this feels so light, so thin, the grip is amazing. I honestly considered switching back to the X5, but then came the turning point. All of the frustration I felt was completely changed because of one realization. After a few days of use, I realized something. Yes, the kickstand technically works, but for me, the situations where I actually use it are less than 5%. The remaining 95% of the time, I'm stuck dealing with the inconvenience it brings. And about that side protective strip, its only function is to protect the screen, but the trouble it brings is not so singular. It even blocks the volume and power buttons. For an average user, we adjust volume, lock the screen, or use the fingerprint sensor dozens of times a day. And every single time, you have to adjust your grip just to reach the button. 1 or 2 times is okay, but when it happens often, it's seriously irritating. There's that saying, for every additional step in operation, you lose at least 20% of your users. This applies to both physical products and apps. And if you want to unfold the phone, that sidebar gets in the way again. You have to open the case first, then open the screen. After dealing with all these annoyances, I finally decided to ditch the official phone case altogether. Now let's talk about repairs. Even though this model, Huawei's latest flagship, hasn't been out for long, people are already spending money to fix it. Bought too fast, regret came faster. Last time when I was taking it apart, I even mentioned it had waterproofing. But this particular device, the damage was super basic. Water got in, and now it won't power on. The owner had already tried to get it repaired elsewhere, but no luck. It broke too quickly after launch. So why go to third-party repair instead of official service? It's not because official repairs are expensive. In fact, Huawei's official parts like motherboards only cost a few dozen yuan, a few USD. I've tried it. Super cheap. But here's the catch. If you replace the motherboard via official service, all internal data is wiped. That's why the phone ended up with me, because the owner needed the data inside. The water-damaged area was right around the mainboard. Under normal circumstances, water shouldn't even get in there. As you can see, even the screws are coated with waterproof glue. The whole thing is sealed. So how exactly did water still get in? TriFold Flagship disillusionment. Once hailed as a technological breakthrough, the Huawei Mate X3, a TriFold smartphone priced in the tens of millions of Vietnamese dong, is now becoming a living example of the saying, "The higher you climb, the harder you fall." From high expectations of luxury, VIP experiences, and cutting-edge innovation, users have instead been taken on a collective journey of disappointment. Visible creases like scars across the screen, a heavy brick-like build, an official case that causes more problems than it solves, and a sideguard that, helpfully, blocks the volume and power buttons. It doesn't stop there. Performance-wise, the phone came under fire when its Kirin 9010 chip couldn't even outperform a 2-year-old Snapdragon found in a Redmi phone that costs just 1/10 as much. Some buyers even reported that their devices broke within days, requiring repairs while grappling with data loss and regret. And after all that, what remained wasn't a glimpse of the future of technology, but a lingering question. Why did I even buy this? This video series isn't just an honest review, it's a wake-up call for anyone enchanted by the TriFold fantasy. Because sometimes complexity isn't innovation, it's just a marketing trap. This story isn't just about a phone, it's a reflection of how easily we get sold on illusions. In the world of China's social trends, high-tech promises and flashy marketing often hide inconvenient truths. A TriFold screen might look like the future, but if it's heavy, fragile, and barely practical, what are we really paying for? So let's ask ourselves, are we chasing convenience or appearances? In trying to look ahead, are we ignoring the value of simplicity and reliability? And in our daily lives, do we actually need more or just less distraction? Let us know what you think in the comments. Have you ever regretted buying into hype? Share your thoughts, experiences, or rants below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and stay tuned for more real-life reflections from China social trends. Thank you for watching, and see you in the next video.